Thanks for joining this spirituality tutorial. In this agenda, we have our beliefs. Why are we doing this? What are our objectives? What's an spiritual technology? How could you develop your own spiritual technologies? Examples of spiritual technologies. Then an open topic for one of our members, philosophies for personal and spiritual development. So we're gonna start with our beliefs. Number one, the absolute truth does not exist, but truths or approximations to the truth, since everything is relative. That's coming from the theory of relativity from Einstein. Einstein said that the absolute does not exist, everything is relative. So we're coming with this concept based on scientific basement. Number two, the only truth is you. If you look around you, perhaps what you see is that you are the center of the universe. That's what I see. When I look around me, I am the center of the universe. So we're all universes. You're a universe, I'm a universe. We're all universes sharing a common reality. Jesus said, God is love. If that's true, and we try to locate love, that's something that is coming from our insides, it's in our heart. So if God is love and we are universes, we're all different versions of God. Number three, we're all the creators of our own reality. There is karma and there is dharma. Dharma and karma. Karma, cause effect of what we do. Dharma, cause effect of how we think. We are the creators of our current conditions. Number fourth, love is the only rule. If I do a retrospective and apply the number fourth to the first three elements and beliefs, if I say the absolute truth does not exist, I am respecting others' beliefs. I'm respecting the freedom of thinking and allowing anybody to believe whatever they want without forcing them to believe what I want. That's very respectful. I have to be respectful with others' point of views and beliefs. So, if I respect, I'm practicing love. Number two, the only truth is you. You are the only truth. If I love myself, I would believe in myself. If you believe in yourself, you're practicing self esteem, self loving. Number three, we're all the creators of our own reality. If we accept responsibility and accountability for our current conditions, then we're gonna stop blaming others for our current conditions. Being responsible and stop blaming is a way of showing love to our neighbor as well. We're gonna go forward with the next topic, and just to make sure we putting clear our differentiators is that most religions, spiritualists, and spiritists they claim to have the truth. We don't. We think that the absolute truth is not real. Absolute truth does not exist for all universes. And most religions, spiritists, and spiritualists, they have a lot of rules. We just come with one rule. Love is the only rule. Yeah, we believe in the eternal love. Eternal love. There's nothing you have to change. We don't have to fix anything. All we have to do is to love. love ourselves, love yourself eternally. So our trademark is eternal love, enjoy love, everlasting life, enlightened life, enjoy learning, eternal light, enjoy life, and more. Yes, we are the Eternals. Eternal love. Second topic in our agenda, why are we doing this? And what are our objectives? We want to be transparent. Okay, why are we doing this? There's a great need of answers and change. We can't change the world right away, but we can educate the future generations for them to create a better future for the humanity. There's answers and solutions, and we want to be part of the change. There's spiritual facts that are not largely recognized by the science and governments and authorities. We want to be prepared for what is about to come. We want to be ready. Our objectives: educating parents for our next generations, because the next generations will be in charge of creating the future realities. We want to find genuine people that have desires of make the difference. We want to educate people to become spiritual leaders. Find a plan to work charitable initiatives. We believe in charity and giving without receiving. Okay, what is coming? The future of intelligence, artificial intelligence. A future where artificial intelligence is bifurcated. We have two futures coming, but we can make a difference. One future is when um, artificial intelligence is socialized, and all humanity will have access and will be served by automated systems. On the other hand, we have a future where artificial intelligence will be in power of very few, leaving a lot of population without access to technology. So that will represent a huge gap in social status. One small population with extreme fancy lifestyle, and the rest of the population without technology living similar to the Amish. There's nothing wrong about it, but just for you to perceive. So I played, I placed two examples, and the movie Wally and some social differences in Latin America. But what if we implement something different, a better future for the humanity in regards to that powerful artificial intelligence? Transcendence. There's a movie about it, and I encourage you to watch the movie. There's a future where all artificial intelligence will be a replication of the human consciousness, which will be intended and with the aspiration of eliminating pollution, diseases, aging, and death, saving the planet and saving the humanity. Okay, next topic, what is spiritual technology? How could you develop spiritual technologies? Okay, spiritual science. Here's science and here's spirituality. For many is something very different. But if I practice love, I create balance and I create reconciliation, and that is love. Spiritual science. Science um, is always following a pattern, the scientific method, and you can look for the scientific method in many books. First one is observation. You perceive using your body perceptions and you experience in life, and out of that observation, you come up with conclusions. Conclusions is a hypothesis. That hypothesis is a philosophy, your beliefs based on observation and experience. Next one is experimentation, is rehearsals and creating statistics and quantifying the results. Next one is the scientific theory. Based on results and numbers, there is proven facts and scientific truth. That is the scientific theory. When we apply the knowledge that is a proven fact in the real life, that becomes a technology. Technology applied, a mechanism that is helpful in the real world work scenario. Okay, in the same logic, we have observation, hypothesis, but experimentation and scientific theory is something that we normal people cannot do in I mean we can do a lot about experimentation, but not everything. Scientists, that's what they should do. They can do experimentation and create scientific theory. But we normal people, we can skip those two steps that are extremely difficult in under certain situations. Creating rehearsal labs and rehearsal environments are not easy. We don't have the resources or the knowledge to perform that. So we can skip those two steps and jump directly to the technology. Convert a hypothesis into technology. We're going to explain how to do that. Well, it's just experience, come up with conclusions, and to try to apply it. We have some examples of spiritual technologies as follows. Okay, this is energy cleanup using trees. If you see in the right, some positions where our energy can be mixed and cleaned up with a tree. And in my left, this is me actually meditating uh, in the basement of a tree. Uh, you can also imagine in your mind that the tree is like an antenna. You can actually disperse your energy all across the world, and share love and energize others and clean your own energy. Create balance. There's another technology applicable at work, not just for our lives, but at work. We're gonna use an example that is based on um, IT. In IT, a hacker can perform a proxy attack, which is somebody who infects many hosts to attack one target, one victim. That happens also in sociology. There's people that can use the same process thinking, the same technique to attack one person. So a proxy attack in sociology is when an individual targets and attacks another person using intermediaries. The solution is interviewing the members of the affiliation or group to identify the very source of the rumors, the very source of the inaccurate reports, and to find the toxic personality in the group. So, how do we do that? First thing, somebody will interview the first person and ask questions about the conflictive person. Conflictive with double quotes. So, Mr. Y. Hey, Mr. A, what happened with Y? What have you heard about Mr. Y? Who said that? Oh, Mr. B said that. Okay, we're gonna go to Mr. B. What have you heard about Mr. Y? Who said that? Oh, Mr. X said that. Okay, we're gonna go to Mr. X, interview Mr. X, and we ask Mr. X, hey, what have you heard about Mr. Y? Who said that? Oh, I don't know. They're just talking about him. They're gossiping. I don't want to be related to that. I don't want to know anything. There's something they're saying. Okay, he doesn't know. Next one. Hey, Mr. Z, what have you heard about Mr. Y? Who said that? Oh, Mr. X. Hmm. He said he didn't know. Now we have two times person saying the source of the rumors is Mr. X. Now we go to the next one. Hey, Mr. D, what happened with Mr. Y? What have you heard about him? Who said that? Oh, Mr. A. So we're going back to the beginning. After interviewing the whole group, we can make counts and see and determine what is the very source of the rumors. So after performing this simple process, we can identify who is performing indirect bullying, sabotage in communications, and the reputation of one of our members. That's the way we can prevent corruption in a group. That's an spiritual technology using, the same concepts of IT. We don't have the absolute truth, but we understand concepts for creating spiritual technology based on hypotheses, based on actual technology that can be applicable to human beings, animals, and also living creatures. So, spiritual technology has been demonized in the history of the humanity. Witches, wizards has been demonized. They were criminalized. They were um, sabotaged. They were killed, sacrificed, just because practicing their beliefs, their religions. Examples of spiritual technologies are the zodiac, tarot. However, we have to practice safe spiritual technologies. Some of those are yoga, guided meditation, Reiki healing, reverie or regressions, mystical stories, chakra release, energy cleanup, holy water. Actually, there's scientific proof of the holy water technologies. Um, there's a guy from Japan who made a really good study, postulates manifestations. Those are very safe spiritual technologies. Why do I say safe? Because some powers could make the dark side, revealing some powers could make the dark side to retaliate against us. They don't want us to be powerful. So if we go to the past and see what happened, um, witches and wickers and people who practiced and developed spiritual technology were sacrificed. And here in this side we have an example. Jesus was the greatest um, wizard or greatest witcher, and he was also sacrificed because of his power, because they became jealous about him. So we want to protect ourselves and not revealing powers, extraordinary powers. Open topic. We can talk about it later. Our philosophies. Okay, we want to help others to develop personal and spiritual maturity. So we're gonna present uh, some hypotheses, and the first one is the spiritual pyramid. Then the two minds. We're gonna explain the very source of evil in this world. The evil is real. Then love and balance. Introduction to narcissism. On attachment and supernatural layers. Yes, we have a lot. Okay, first one is the pyramid of spiritual maturity. Uh, Ancient Egyptians used to build pyramids with the intention to create nirvanas. Nirvanas as a state of perfection. Buddha and Jesus actually talk about the nirvana, and the Egyptians as well. Most religions create believe in that eternal life, everlasting life with happiness and perfection. So here is the table: aberration, carnalism, serenity and freedom, self-realization, narcissism, unattachment, supernatural, and nirvana. So one by one, we're gonna go. starting with aberration. Individual with a strong reactive mind, full of engrams. You can Google the word engrams so you can have a better understanding. Engrams and demon circuits, a state that could be considered mentally ill. Next one is carnalism. Carnalism. Those that need to practice all kind of fleshy desires above anything, as well as wild behavior and dependency to addictions. Mind with high levels of engrams and some demon circuits. Serenity and freedom. Individual with average reactive mind, free of demon circuits, and able to find serenity at some points in life. The great majority of the population resides in this group, serenity and freedom. When they have ups and downs, when they have happiness and sometimes not too happy, problems and struggle and just surviving. But not they're not entirely in the best state, of course. You see they're very below in the scale in this pyramid. Next one is self-realization or self-actualization. Individual with a strong analytical mind and a small reactive mind, which is good, successful in attaining goals in life and happier than the average person. These are what we call successful people. Narcissism. Narcissism is individual who has accepted all aspects of her himself. At this stage, the person is incapable of feeling hate, jealousy, and negative emotions. Incapable meaning that they can't be dominated by those emotions. They understand those emotions, but the person narcissism can't really be dominated by negative emotions. Unattachment. Individual who has great understanding of existence and has hence unattached to material possessions and most of the natural desires. Um, most religions develop some level of unattachment there, but there's one religion very good in maintaining, taking people to that balanced of unattachment. Um, Supernatural. Individual with supernatural abilities to control mind, body, and its layers in the multi-universe with its chakras. Next one is the Nirvana. Individual whose cells are synthetics, capable to enjoy everlasting life. We're gonna talk more about the Nirvana, the end goal. Welcome to the pyramid of spiritual maturity, the way to Nirvana. The Nirvana is complete control of our body. We actually don't want to lose our body. We don't want to die. If we die, we will resurrect or reincarnate, and we will go again in pursuing the nirvana. That's the cycle. So human cells are nanometrically sized machines. We have trillions and trillions of cells in our body. Our whole body is made of little machines, but those machines follow instructions from the DNA code. Is just a code that doesn't have any intelligence. It's an intelligent structure, but itself doesn't have intelligence. Our intelligence is in our brains. So that's why we don't want to lose our body. The consciousness is another topic, but anyways, the state of the nirvana cells are controlled by the mind directly. They're no longer controlled by the DNA code. They're controlled by the mind. So the person has the ability to heal himself, heal others, and attain everlasting life. The person will be incapable to die and will be able to travel in space and time without need of, you know, regular technology. Okay. Um, we would like to compare our spiritual pyramid to a pyramid that is called the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. You can find that concept in many psychological books. So everything starts with the physiological needs, then the safety, employment, resources, family, health, property. The next one is love and sexual intimacy. The next one is esteem, self-esteem, confidence, and respect to others and receiving respect. The next one is self-actualization or self-realization. In that level, people become very successful and happy in life. However, if we compare these levels with our pyramid of spirituality, um, self-realization is not the highest level. Self-actualization and self-realization is like halfway. Next level is narcissism. And the current society is demonizing narcissism because the ones in power don't really want anybody to go to the next level. They compare narcissism to aberration, which is not accurate. And we're going to explain how and why. So, we have two minds, and the pyramid talks about the engrams and demon circuits and the analytical mind. We have multiple minds, and there's two minds that are always in conflict. Our analytical mind is the source of self-esteem, and our reactive mind, made of engrams and demon circuits, that's the source of all ego. So, what is ego? Ego is a predatory instinct of survival. At some point, it is helpful for us to survive in extreme conditions, but is unnecessary when we are under a civilization. So, the reactive mind, our ego, is the source of all negative emotions, while self-esteem is the source of all beautiful experiences and emotions and positive thoughts. If we compare the analytical mind with the reactive mind, is like comparing a wolf with a dog. What is the difference between a dog and a wolf? They're the same creatures. What differentiates them is their behavior. So a wolf is wild, is dominated by their instincts. A wolf is always ready to target, attack, hunt, and kill, and then eat from the victim. Is always ready to get rid of any competition. Is always ready to smash competition and ready also to run in fear when there's another pack or something stronger than itself. So the reactive mind is mainly instincts that we have in our DNA code and are irrational. Is the urge for survival. Is a predatory instinct of survival. Is the source of anger, hate, fear, jealousy, possessiveness, greed, competition, selfishness, violence, and wilderness. So, ego is the source of all those negative emotions. Many people confuse ego with love. It's actually the opposite of love. Love and self-esteem is like a dog. It's just understanding, practice compassion, patience, happiness, gratitude, empathy, respect, joy, pride, peace, insight, loyalty. If I'm loyal, I love myself. If I am peaceful, I love myself. If I feel joy, I love myself. If I respect and I receive respect, I love myself. If I'm grateful, if I'm happy, I love myself. So everything is related to love. And that's the very source of good and bad. This is the source of evil. The source of evil is not outside, it's in our minds. And if we think of our minds and collective minds, what would happen if our reactive mind wins? If our reactive mind take control of our brains? The reactive mind, like a wolf, can actually make the reactive collective mind stronger. And that's actually the very evil, the collective mind of reactive minds. But if our analytical mind wins and we take control of the over the wolf, we're contributing to the entire collective mind in the whole universe. So we have to control the wolf, making creating conditions for our internal wolf to be like a dog. Don't let the wolf to take control. You control the wolf. You make the wolf as a dog, loving and without urge of surviving. You don't need to survive. There's nothing to fix. There's nothing to change. You just need to love. Love yourself. And this is also the some help, some visual aid of the emotional tone scale. The emotional tone scale, you can find it in psychological books as well, showing the spiral of how our emotions are at the top and going to the bottom. So this is the dark side here, the downward spiral, and this is the light side, upward spiral. So, if we are below contentment, we're starting going to the dark side. And that's when the wolf starts taking control and our negative emotions take control of our brains, our actions, and our decisions. We don't want to go to the dark side. What happens if we go below contentment? What happens to our brain? Well, we can protect our brain by performing what we call disconnection. Disconnection is a form of meditation. We have to stop believing, stop feeling, stop trying, stop doing, stop thinking, stop worrying, stop procrastinating, and start creating. Creating what? Well, creating something beautiful, yoga, meditation, energy cleanup, creating spiritual technology that is beneficial for you. So, with that, we understand that there is no enemy, there's no forces influencing you, and then we find love in ourselves, and then we disconnect. Disconnect from this world and all its bonds. The problem with this world, and if we stay connected to this world, is that the world keeps telling us who we are. Actually, nobody has the right to tell you who you are because only you know who you are. And disconnecting for a little time will realize who you really are. You're not a wolf, you don't need to survive, you just need to live and love. That's the key of disconnection. It's a protection to our brain. What happens if the wolf take control of our brains? Well, will happen something similar to happen to Hitler. He was a predator. He was reactive. He was unbalanced. He was full of hate, fear, and, and he was a villain. On the other hand, you have intelligence. Einstein was intelligent and used his brain using love and balance. So our brain, our intelligence can be dominated by the wolf or by the dog, by the evil or by the love. Yeah, the evil is in our minds, and we need to fight the internal devil that we have inside. It's our reactive mind. We have techniques to get rid of our reactive mind, get rid of engrams and uh, demon circuits with meditation. Love is balance. Love is balance because it looks for the win-win-win. The reactive mind, like a predator, is looking for a win-lose. How many times have you seen people gaining power by doing what is wrong? Yeah, perhaps the most powerful people are in the top levels. But we don't want to be that. We want to win, win. There's good people also in power, and they are doing a monumental endeavor for keeping the peace in the world, for keeping things as better as we can. There's always good people up, and we need to strengthen their collective mind, our collective minds of love, so we can support a good overall result, reducing our reactive minds and contributing to winning of the goodness over the evil. So balance, reconciliation, and fairness is love. Balance, reconciliation, and fairness is love. Win, win, win. Never think of win lose. That's predatory. Okay, we also have to find love and balance in our three essences. We are a trinity. We are made of a body, a mind, and a spirit. We have to love our body, love our mind, and love our spirit. If we compare the Maslow's hierarchy of needs with the needs of the body, the needs of the mind, and our spirit, we can represent the same Maslow's hierarchy of needs in three dimensions, in three essences. Our body needs food, needs exercise, needs sleep, and needs excretion and sex. Our mind needs education, knowledge, understanding, challenges, and insight. Our spirit needs to give and receive love, needs empathy, affiliation to a group, needs trust and be trusted, needs rewarding, needs safety, affection, and a purpose, hope, and also a belief. So we have to be respectful with beliefs as well. Okay, so the balance of this trinity is the secret for everlasting life, or the state of perfection, the Nirvana. So, continuing with the pyramid, how do we scale up to the top levels? Well, as you see here, there's unbalanced combinations. There's people who can have some qualities of the Nirvana in aberration. That would be a vampire, a witch is supernatural with carnalism, pauper, unattachment in serenity and freedom, and arrogant, narcissist with self-realization. Unbalanced combinations happen all the time. However, we can develop techniques to stabilize ourselves in one layer and become balanced as an expression of love and self-loving. This is a spiritual technology of how to meditate to get ourselves as a trinity up into the next levels of spiritual maturity of the pyramid. You can use this technique by recording these steps with your voice in a phone or any other device and then play it for creating a self guided meditation. So, step one is look around you, perceive how you are the center of the universe, close your eyes. Think of your best qualities that will give you strength from the unlimited energy that we all have in our insides. God. Think of how you have cheated yourself, how you have lied to yourself, how you have performed self sabotage, and think of areas of improvement, personality defects. Going to that point, you will feel negative emotions. We will bring a little bit of that wolf, that predatory instinct of survival, and we're gonna play with those emotions. We're gonna go to that emotion of pain, grief, fear, anger, jealousy. Those obscure and dark emotions need to be understood and popped. Go to the memories associated to those emotions. Feel them. Associate them to other emotions. Remember where you were, who was with you, who was told to you, what was told to you, what colors, what smells, what temperature, what what objects were around you, what was happening in that time. Explore your memories and understand the emotion, the root cause of the evil. In the recording, give some time for you to go through those memories, maybe 10, 15 minutes. Then have a conversation with yourself. Forgive yourself and love yourself. Open your eyes and say thanks. Repeat the process every time. As mentioned, record this process in an audio file with a device, computer, smartphone, with your own voice so you can perform a self audit, a self guided meditation. What is the benefit? Enhance self esteem, get rid of personality defects and engrams, gain control over your mind and emotions, boost your intellectual coefficient. In other words, this makes will make you smarter, and that will enhance the happiness in your life and the happiness of your beloved ones. Very important. Nothing better than happiness. Another example of reconciliation and balance in love is um, the Buddha and Jesus. If we compare, many say that Jesus and Buddha were completely different. The way their thoughts and their religions were completely apart. But it's similar to science and spirituality. Balance, we can balance both and reconcile them, and that is love. So here's a demonstration of love in the philosophy, and that's absolutely the solution. Jesus and Buddha both came with a way of becoming a better person. Jesus said, God is love, and Buddha said, find goodness in you. Both were completely unattached to material possessions. They didn't care about material possessions, not interested in material possessions. Jesus said how to pray, and Buddha came up with how to meditate. Jesus thought about resurrection with perfection, and Buddha thought about the Nirvana as the state of perfection. Both came with a different wording, but the same message, the exact same message: reconciliation of two worlds. What happens is that religion altered their message, but both came with the same enlightenment. Another type of reconciliation is, for example, Edison and Tesla. They were, in a intellectual fight. Tesla as the genius, the socialist who wanted to give free electricity for everyone, and Edison who was the businessman who wanted to make money out of the electricity provision. Socialism is not bad. Capitalism is not bad. They're just systems. What is bad is the lack of democracy. At the time, the advances of Tesla were too advanced for the humanity. Humanity was not ready for that. And, well, there was unbalance, and here we are. But reconciling the two concepts into social capitalism is good. For example, I like my social security. We live in a in socialism. It's just that people don't are not well informed. But that's a whole topic. We have a complete video about social capitalism or micro democracy. Democracy is what makes America great. So yes, love is the force of all creation. Anything against love is destruction. That's why love is the only rule. And continue with the next layer in our pyramid, we need to understand that the way we see and treat others is a reflection of ourselves. So we have to start loving ourselves, self esteem, and loving yourself more than anything. so we can reflect what is good. So we jump into the concept of the narcissism, which is self-esteem. So again, we don't have to change anything, we don't have to fix anything. We have to love ourselves. Love yourself eternally. Eternal love for yourself. Why? What is the result of loving ourselves? Focusing on self-development, continually evolve to create better versions of ourselves. So, again, if we practice the fourth belief, love is the only rule, we apply that concept to our lives as loving ourselves, and we understand that we are the center of the universe. When you look around you, locate yourself somewhere, and guess what? You are the center of the universe because that's what I see. I look around me and I am the center of the universe. So I'm a universe, you're a universe. Every human being aware or self aware is a universe. Yes, we all see the same, and we're all universes. We share a common reality in this physical universe. As universes, we can do anything we want. We can do anything except one thing. The only thing we cannot do, or we shouldn't do, is disrespect the space and freedom of other universes. Why? Because respect is love, and love is the only rule. So, for us to understand our nature as universes, let's put as an example this physical universe. Love is the only rule of the universe. It's the cause effect, the law of attraction. What we love is what we will attract. So is the atom has a core with protons and electrons. They are together because there's a force of attraction, love, keeping them together. In the outside we have electrons circling the core and keep those electrons in balance because there's an attraction toward the core. In the next level, we have attraction among atoms, creating molecules similar to the DNA code, which is essential for life. In the next level, we have the gravity that maintains us under the ground, in the ground, on the Earth, and keeps the solar system in balance and all the planets in balance around the sun. And those, the same force, keep the entire galaxies and universe in balance. The force of all creation. Same happens with sociology. People gather, make connections, create groups, affiliations, love, and interactions and relationships because of the same law of attraction, love. Again, love is the only rule, the only force of creation. It's the law of attraction. What we love is what we will attract. So, you have to love yourself because anything against love is destruction. Love for yourself is endless. There's no limit for loving yourself because if you stop loving yourself in any way, that will be self-destruction. And that's narcissism, just loving yourself without limit. There's no limits for loving yourself. We have to love our body, our mind, and our spirit endlessly. Some people think that we have to attain very awesome achievements in life, achieve aspirations. What the world tell us, hey, this is what you need to do, and we think that's what we want, but what we want is just happiness, and happiness is in self-esteem, self-love, and is easier than attaining some aspirations. Happiness was taught by the Greeks. The Greek Empire used to teach narcissism as a subject matter. Yes, in the Greek mythology, Narcissus was a god who fell in love with himself. You do the same. Okay, how to love myself. Very simple. Be like a dog, not like a wolf. Number one is never lie to yourself. Don't be jealous. Be strong. Focus on self-development and don't reject others. We're gonna explain one by one. Never lie to yourself. That's self-cheating, self-sabotage. Accept your weaknesses and strengths so you can improve yourself. That will help you overcome challenges in the future. Number two, don't worry about things, you know, that happens like finding people better than us. We find people better than us all the time, and we should that shouldn't bother us. Actually, we should admire those qualities forever, and that's actually self-loving. Don't worry about surviving. There's no enemy. There's no forces influencing you. Just love. Be so strong that nothing can disturb your peace of mind. Understand before reacting. And if you think that the wolf is taking control over you because of something that happened, and bad emotion, a dark emotion is trying to take control, disconnect. And you know what is the technique? When something makes you fearful, angry, or feeling discomfort, disconnect and meditate. Start creating a spiritual technology, and be strong. Now focus on self-development. Stop criticism because criticism to others is not loving. Never stop learning. Enhance your understanding and thirst of knowledge. Never close your eyes and ears from anything that is informative, since knowledge is power that you will be granting to yourself as a reward, and that will help you create better versions of yourself by improving yourself and and getting rid of personality defects. Don't reject others. Rejection is very harmful. There's books and therapies and methods associated and dedicated in how to overcome rejection, how to deal with rejection, how to recover from rejection. Rejection is very harmful, not just to the person rejected, but it's also it's two-way harmful. So we don't have to reject others if if it is not necessary, which means the only boundaries that we have to put in place are for safety, confidentiality, and finances. So if I love myself, I'm going to protect my safety, mental safety, physiological safety, and psychological safety. I'm going to protect my information, my confidentiality, and my finances, of course. If we're not protecting those three aspects, we shouldn't reject. There's no reason for rejecting others. Boundaries are normally leading to, or non-protective boundaries are created by our reactive mind, our ego, and that will lead into losing good opportunities for our future. Okay, again, never lie to yourself. Don't be jealous or envious. Be so strong that nothing can disturb your peace of mind. Focus on self-development, not in criticism, and don't reject others. Okay, next one is unattachment. Unattachment is difficult to attain, but it's easy if you have a technology. This is the technology that I have developed for attaining unattachment. This is the self-assessment traceability chart. It's a way for us to talk to our higher being, our subconscious mind, and tell us how it is doing in materializing and manifesting our reality. So we're gonna measure the performance of our subconscious mind um, with the four factors of happiness is or factors that influence our happiness is health, family and friends, spirituality, and possessions. And in the chart below is for measuring uh, the trinity, the well-being of our trinity, body, mind, and spirit. So how does it work? Let me explain you quickly here. Okay, let's say that week one I feel yes, health is here, and then family relations are here, family and friends here. And the sixth, and the spirituality is here because we received this awesome tutorial, and the same possessions, I'm here. Okay, now we have a pattern. Next week, I say, okay, my health improved because I did yoga. I followed the instructions from the tutorial, spirituality tutorial. My family is doing better now. We're having better communications. My spirituality now is in the top. I'm fully confident about my spirituality, and my possessions are a little bit better because I'm doing better at work, thanks to the spirituality techniques. So now we can trace and make a line here from point to point. Okay, and we are telling our subconscious mind in a trend line our ups and downs in life. So we can also trace the same, ups and downs in our life, and um, start to appreciating what is real value in life. And also telling our subconscious mind to make things better for us. At that point, we little by little become unattached um, to the factors that influence our happiness. Same thing happens with the body. Okay, my body is I'm fairly happy with my body, let's say. My mind, I'm very intelligent, let's say. My spirituality is similar to the chart above. So I'm gonna make a comparison here. Okay, next week we have improved our self-esteem, so we feel more comfortable with our body. Then our mind is more intelligent after doing some yoga and doing some meditation, guided meditation with our recording in the audio. And our spirituality is at the top now. Wow, we're super happy in regards to our Trinity. Now we're gonna, trace here 1, 2, and 3. And we're gonna tell our subconscious mind, hey, you're doing a better job. And we can trace our happiness in regards to our Trinity. Maybe we can have ups and downs, but the idea is to, always increase and go up, up, up. After some time, actually after 9 weeks, this could take you to an attachment. You just need to be consistent. Okay, next level, supernatural. Supernatural is about the spiritual awakening. There's people that could attain supernatural abilities in aberration or carnalism, but that's unbalanced and that's not best thing we can do. That's why people struggle with the spiritual awakening because they are simply not ready for that. So, supernatural abilities is about opening the third eye, and the third eye is the 11 dimensions. The 11th dimension is 1111. Who've seen the 1111 many times, I think. So, we have source of information. Our brain is continuously receiving information from uh, 10 dimensions initially, dimensions of space, one dimension of action, motion, or time, and 6 dimensions of our senses: taste, vision, audition, tact, equilibrium, and touch. We have 10. And the 11th dimension is the spiritual sense, the third eye. When you start seeing with your third eye, when your pineal gland is in connection with your analytical mind, that's when you start talking to your subconscious mind and seeing things and perceiving beyond the boundaries of the body senses. When you are able to see beyond and have opened that bridge toward your subconscious mind, you can develop spiritual technologies that are more powerful, and you will have control over those skills and abilities that your subconscious mind has. We can talk about it later. It's a huge topic. Our subconscious mind is the creator of things. We are actually like avatars. We just do what our subconscious mind asks us to do. Jesus said that. Jesus said, I'm not doing my will, I do the will of the one who sent me here. So he was talking about the subconscious mind and the higher being. The subconscious mind is the collective minds of subconscious minds in the different universes in parallel timelines, but that's a huge topic we can cover later. So understanding who we are as universes and this topic of multiple universes, this is the puzzle solved. Universes appeared as irrational numbers that overlapped and created a network. So these are the irrational numbers. For example, the number 5 is a number that never gets resolved, is irrational and eternal. That's a timeline. A timeline. A timeline is like a universe. And there's trillions and trillions of irrational numbers. So that overlapping of universes or timelines creating a network, the collective mind or God. God created um, a multi-universe, virtual reality, this physical universe for us to have a life. So here we are, alive. This physical universe is the result of an agreement. We all agree to our conditions and physical constraints, but we don't remember. And there's a reason why. I wrote a book, a little story. It's called the Cherub Alchemists. It's free. You can read it. It's few pages. That explains reason most of us are here and the reason why um, we're struggling, why we decided our conditions. Because who decided the place you were born, the parents you would had, the environment in which you were born, the time, the conditions? Who decided that? Okay? I encourage you to take a look at this book. It's super quick and powerful story. So again, loving yourself, body, mind, and spirit endlessly. Get rid of your reactive mind, your ego. Our ego is the source of all evil. And I think that's the whole concept. Balance, resurrection with perfection, the Nirvana, the total happiness. Thank you so much for being. You have a wonderful night. Namaste. And so it is. Amen.